This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Morning Drive. After hearing Jamie's response to executing the leakers, you Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score sports guys better start watching your tongues. Hashtag snitches get stitches.
I am not a general, so I do not work that way. So I'm just saying this guy was a general, so he just goes back to his roots. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you got an Army guy who's leading the college football playoff committee.
Well, it's the Air Force, but yeah.
Air Force, whatever.
Okay.
I would just like to comment that, yes, I am keeping some secrets. I'm not going to tell you who I'm keeping them from.
We don't work that way around here. You know, everybody gets away with everything.
I know. What? I know. One person's going to know this name. Jamie, I'm curious if you do. Our one percenter will. Do you know the name Gary Gilmore? Does that name sound familiar to you?
I know Artist Gilmore.
Okay, no, it's not. No
I've
relation.
heard of the Gilmore Girls.
Okay, no relation. Jeff, do you know who Gary Gilmore is?
Wasn't Deep Throat's real name.
No,
that's God, I can see his face. No,
Gary Gilmore's?
No,
the Deep Throat guy. Yeah.
No.
Gary Gilmore was the last man in the United States executed by a firing squad. It was in 1977.
This is walking around knowledge for you?
I knew that name. I Googled it too. I was in high school when that happened. So, I mean, it was a pretty big story. I Googled it and then I'm like, oh, it's Gary Gilmore. And I double checked myself to make sure I was correct because, you know, my facts and stories haven't really been lining up here the last couple of weeks. I've kind of gotten the facts and the stories kind of a little bit confused. Some things.
Okay.
But so I'm trying.
So he's the last one to get executed with a firing squad, you said. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's been others executed other ways, but
but he was the and they felt like it was cruel and unusual punishment, so they stopped doing that. And what they did is they had X number of guys lined up, and one guy had a bullet, and everybody else had blanks, and nobody knew if theirs was a bullet or a blank.
So the guys didn't have to mentally deal with it?
Right, right. They didn't have to. Well, I mean, I'm sure they still probably did, but I'm sure those guys were cold, calculated, kind of guys that
Well, you never want to be voluntold to do something in the military. Mm-hmm. That is definitely something you don't want to be voluntold to do, is to go kill somebody that you've served with.
Yeah, I didn't know they did it that way.
Well, I mean, that
makes sense, though.
Yeah, I mean, and they
you would have thought there was some sort of automatic thing they could just set up, right?
Well, they used to have, they used to hang people,
Yeah, no.
Just pull the lever.
But I'm saying that if they're shooting someone.
Oh, like a T-shirt gun? Like one of those.
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess. Okay. I don't think they need to shoot him 47 times, but yeah. Okay, man, we've had an interesting show today.
Yeah, well, we're kind of just
high body count today. Yeah,
high body count today. Here's some really bad news for the Dallas Cowboys, like you need it anymore. DeMarvion Overshown, his knee injury that he suffered the other night against the Cincinnati Bengals. Apparently, he tore his right ACL, MCL, and PCL. Mike McCarthy was asked in a press conference if it's likely that he'll miss the 2025 campaign, and McCarthy said, I think that's fair because of the time of year. Obviously, we're in December. You have the surgery, and the rehab is a long process that's very realistic. They're really devastated about this. He called him such a bright light while talking about how much the Cowboys will miss him. Okay. So
that's disappointing.
That's too bad. Risa has weighed in this morning a couple of different times. She says that she did a report on Gary Gilmore in high school.
Nice.
Okay. Back when you did did research and things like that, and you had to go to the library and pick out an actual book and things like that. And They
don't do that anymore?
Well, I don't know how much. I think you just Google it. I Googled it. How did you find that information? I Googled it.
Well, you don't have to write like a senior thesis.
Well, I have no idea. I have no idea. It's been a long time since we've had a senior in our midst in our
What was your senior thesis on, Chuck and Jeff? Jamie's question of the day. A little bit.
I don't know about senior thesis. This will not come as no surprise to you. I think I wrote some kind of research paper on the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and then I think I repurposed some of that in college. Some of that research got used again in college for a history class.
So was it a persuasive?
I think it was just more of a.
This is what happened?
I think just more what happened and maybe my. I would think
so
it was
you didn't try
opinion.
to persuade them to believe your theories of who
conspiracy
did the shooting or anything?
I don't think I did. I don't think so. I don't think I did.
How about you, Jeff?
Okay, this should come as no surprise to anybody. How the Treaty of Versailles that ended World War I might be the worst legal document in the history of the world. Because of all of the penalties that it put on Germany that directly led to the rise and fall of the Nazis. There's a direct path to how that happened and led to everything that World War II was.
Yeah. Mine, I promise you, I wrote before I was married. Again, I was a senior in high school. And I still believe what I wrote. Mine was persuasive one, and it was that the teachers and folks in the academic side of things should be paid more than professional athletes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You currying favor there with the teacher.
I had no idea I was going to marry a teacher many years later.
Syntax Hank says this, executions, what a unique way to start a morning. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if this came on one of the Faces of the Death videos. Okay.
I never saw any of those, but I heard about them. Yeah. Gosh.
So is there going to be an investigation on the leak or a movie about it with Jack Nicholson as the reporter and Tom Cruise as the investigator? You want me on that reporting. You need me on that reporting. Yes. I saw a picture of Jack Nicholson, like just on a TMZ site or something, in a bathrobe holding a drink. God, he looked awful. Just looked awful. Awful. I mean, I don't think his health is...
There's probably not many dudes that look good in a bathrobe holding a drink, Chuck.
Probably not, but I mean...
I'm sure you think you do, but I wouldn't guess that I do.
I don't... I mean, I own a bathrobe, but I don't know the last time I actually used it, so... At any rate, 6:40.
Again, keeping those secrets. Yes, keeping secrets, folks.
There's no secrets here.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
2024, here is Jeff McGuire.
And I will be asking for help again later in this. There's a piece of history I've only got a snippet of that I would like more of.
Oh, okay.
So, when we get there, if somebody's got that information, I would greatly accept it and be very thankful for it.
I feel like it's being set up here.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
You could have it. Jamie could have it. Somebody in the chat line could have it. Okay. I am needing more information, and I'm just letting people know that's coming up soon.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't have it.
I don't think you have it. I don't know, but somebody out there does.
I would have probably already given it to Jeff.
Yes. 1934, National League votes to permit night baseball, but you only get 7 of them a year. That's it. 7.
Wow.
Rebels. 1949, Chicago Bears Johnny Lujack passes for 6 touchdowns versus the Chicago Cards, winning 52-29.
Cards, not Cardinals, huh?
Correct. Okay. 1966, Al Nelson sets an NFL record returning a missed field goal for 100 yards.
Cool.
1975, and this is where I need some help.
Okay.
Lady Raider basketball team topped Texas Women's University 70-66 in Denton. That is all I know about this game. I don't know who the leading scorer was. I don't know why we were playing in Denton or why we were playing Texas Women's University, if it was part of a home and home. All I know, on this day in 1975, Lady Raider basketball took down Texas Women's University 70-66.
Okay, so the first question is Texas Women's University in Denton?
I think so.
Well, that's probably why they're playing there.
Well, no, why it wasn't here.
I think so. I think Jamie's right about that. I think so.
That's the first part.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
No, somebody out there has a newspaper article. That's all I'm asking. 1981, Washington Capitals' biggest margin of victory of 9, beating Toronto 11-2. Winning by 9 in hockey is insane. Scoring 11 is even worse.
Sure, yeah.
1993, the 59th Heisman Trophy is awarded, and this might be one of my favorites.
Oh.
Because he is the answer to a bunch of trivia questions. Charlie Ward, quarterback for Florida State. What professional sport did he play?
Basketball.
And that's why he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He was fun to watch.
He was fun to watch, yeah.
But it's the best player in college football goes to the NBA.
Yeah. Just shows you sometimes college quarterbacks that don't necessarily translate to the next level. But he was a solid basketball player, too. Felt like he had a decently long NBA career with the Knicks.
2009, this worked out well. Tiger Woods announces an indefinite leave from professional golf to focus on his marriage and fixing his car. And quite possibly getting new clubs because some of them may have gone through his car.
Yeah, it's going to need a Clearview auto glass.
Happy
if
Noodle.
She throws a club, you better drive fast. Straight to Clearview auto glass.
Oh, that's good.
That's how the song goes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy National Noodle Ring Day. Think SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs?
Yeah, with the ring.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld is 28. Brenda Lee is 80. Rey Mysterio 50. And Nikki Sticks is 66.
Nikki Sticks.
And on this day in 2008, financier Bernie Madoff is arrested in his New York City apartment and charged with the masterminding of a long-running Ponzi scheme later estimated to involve $65 billion with a B dollars, making it the biggest investment fraud in Wall Street history. That is this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history, 6:49. Would you guys like some walking around knowledge of something that I can kind of give you some walking around knowledge of that I didn't know, that I don't know if it'll ever be helpful to you, but it's just something that maybe you could say, hey, did you know, to somebody? Would you like a little tidbit?
Would love it.
Okay. Did you know that the St. Louis Cardinals are owned by the Busch family, right? Auguste Busch was Augie Busch was the guy, and he's the guy that is the Budweiser guy, right? I mean, he founded Budweiser for the most part. So he wanted to name his new stadium after one of his beers, okay? And Major League Baseball, at that point in time in the 60s, said, no, you cannot do that. You cannot name a stadium after a corporate, a company. Which now today, that's just, it's what we do with everything, right? We attach a name to something. It's this stadium, that stadium, at this field, blah, blah, blah. So Busch said, okay, well, I'm going to name my stadium Busch Stadium. And then once they got it built, he told his brewery, I want you guys to come up with a new beer, and it's going to be called Busch Beer. How about that?
So the beer was kind of named after the stadium.
The beer was after the fact, right? Mm-hmm. Augie Busch was a marketer, and that was really smart thinking on his part. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So there, again, it gives you a little something for your back pocket in case you needed a conversation starter for any kind of Christmas parties that you may or may not be going to. Mm-hmm. Do you have any on your docket for this weekend?
Christmas parties?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I'm pretty much a one Christmas party a year guy.
And we had it the other night? That was it?
That was it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, the missus doesn't have any activities for you to go to or anything like that?
I think the missus has some with her friends, but she doesn't
Does it drag you along?
I think it's just more of a girls thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so right. I'm good.
No ornament exchange with your buddies or anything like that?
See, it's comments like that that'll get you invited to our parties, Chuck.
6:52 this morning.
Because the last thing any of us want to do is have to go buy a stinking ornament and then take one home that we didn't want.
Right.
I like ornaments.
Yeah.
Right, but you wouldn't appreciate a Star Trek ornament.
Yeah.
No, it better be, It
would have to be a double T.
Pretty much has to be a Texas Tech ornament. It doesn't have to be a double T. It could be anything that's Texas Tech.
Okay.
My Texas Tech tree is...
Is it up?
Oh, goodness, it's been up for...
it never.
It went up at the beginning of football season.
It never
like
comes
the first
down.
week in November, pretty much. It's just the tree is becoming too small.
Okay, we need a bigger tree.
You can, if you really look for them, you can find a lot of Texas Tech ornaments.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Now here's the real question I have for Jay.
So we used to just have them on the regular tree, but there's not enough space.
There's
just one tree?
Does your actual Christmas tree look more like an apple tree? From all the students giving your lovely bride an apple ornament.
No.
Is this that time of year when the apples start coming home for the missus?
She gets some things with apples on them. Yeah, but really no apples.
Do you?
I have a box of apple ornaments, and my sister has one too from my mom.
Yeah,
and it's a box of just apples. Like they're different types of apple. Like they're ornaments in the shape of an apple or looking like an apple, whatever they are. Yeah. Box of them.
Like if Johnny or Jane or Georgia or Marcia or any of the other little boys and girls, their mommies make cookies or cupcakes or their favorite lemon bar or anything like that, and send it to school for the missus. Do you?
I don't think it's a lot of homemade stuff.
Okay, but if they did provide some kind of homemade treat, would you partake?
Probably.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was something I liked.
Okay. All right. You kind of struck me.
If they bring cherry pie in, I'm not going to eat it because I don't like cherry pie.
Yeah.
If they bring apple pie, I would eat it because I like apple pie.
You like apple pie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning. Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. We'll have the High School Fan Zone on the air for you tonight at 6 on 100.7 The Score. Then we'll join coverage of Lady Raider basketball from SMU tonight as they take on the Mustangs. The Lady Raiders do. That's probably not something that they want said. Like, there's probably not in their game notes. I haven't looked yet to see. Don't say SMU. SMU. There's usually there's always those schools like, this is what we want to be. We're this, we're that, we're this, we're not this, we're not this.
Are they allowed to be called Southern Methodist, or is that not okay also?
I think so. I don't know. That's a great question. It's a great question. That's a great question. We'll have the full broadcast on 107.7 The Red Dirt Rebel beginning at 6:30 tonight. Okay. All right, so the portal. This is probably now old information, but I thought it was interesting because it was day one information. This is from CBSSports.com. 5 years ago, during the 2019-2020 cycle, a total of 1,678 players entered the portal the entire year. Okay? As of Monday night, only one day in for underclassmen to enter the portal, there were 1,537 players listed in the database. It was such a high number that the server couldn't handle the load. In the end, it was double what you saw in the window from a year ago. Some say the reasons for this are numerous. It's mostly just the reality of the schedule. The portal process is already compressed. Sooner you get in, sooner you can get recruited, throw in shorter windows, and there's historic early demand in terms of entries. Among those that they listed here as being prominent players, notable players is what they said. Jackson Arnold, the quarterback from Oklahoma, Miller Moss, quarterback from USC, Connor Wegman, the quarterback from Texas A&M, and then they list a wide receiver and then another wide receiver, Micah Hudson, Texas Tech University, among the notable players.
Notable.
That sucks. And then I saw last night Jerand Bradley. Remember him? He's back in the portal.
What?
Yeah.
And he was such a good fit for him there at Boston College with his 6 catches this year.
Well,
can't believe he didn't stick around.
Didn't quite work out for him. Six catches, 94 yards. He did catch a couple of touchdowns. But, it was interesting for him because
1 out of every 3 catches he makes is for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want that?
He is the guy that he went to go play for. The coach left, quote, unexpectedly to become the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, a guy by the name of Jeff Hafley. So the leading receiver for Boston College, Lewis Bond, only caught 60 passes for 590 yards and 3 scores. I wonder what our offense is going to look like next year. Are we going to be looking like something like that, where we're not throwing the ball very much?
I wouldn't guess so.
Or
why would we think that?
I think your new offensive coordinator wants to. I mean, they say, well, we're going to adapt to the team, but I think he's a run guy.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to. It's not going to be an option.
I don't think so.
You got Baron Morton, you got quality receivers.
You got Will Hammond, right?
Yeah.
All those guys.
I mean, I don't think we're going to...
Just all of a sudden just going to start handing the ball off.
3 yards in a cloud of dust team.
3 yards in a cloud of turf tire, right? Hopefully it's not going to be like that. I don't think it's going to be like that. But hey, if you win, right, what does it matter? If you win, what does it matter?
Yeah. That's somewhat fair. It's a lot more exciting, I think, when you throw it.
Sure. No doubt.
Have some balance and get to watch both styles of offense.
If you could win 10 games and you're going to win, 21-15 every week, you'll sign up for that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll sign up for that. Just like if all of a sudden your baseball team turned into 2-1 baseball games all the time, you'd be like, sign me up for that, right?
Absolutely.
You say it's a great day to be a Red Raider 72 times, and you'd be happy.
If you're the one that has 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you make of...
You would think that would mean a lot less adios muchachos, though.
Mm-hmm. A lot less.
Yeah.
I love how...
Also mean you'd probably have a bunch of really good pitchers.
Yeah, right. No, if you're doing 2-1, what do you...
Maybe not such great offensive players.
Yeah. Structure, payment plans, staffing choices, decisions on whether to commit with UNC, and now he's waiting for them to read this 400-page Bible. And would you just say, hey, there's no reason for you to give this to me. We're really not that interested.
I would have said that a long time ago if I was North Carolina.
Yeah. Why are you going to hire a 72-year-old man? I mean, why? Why? When you just fired a 73-year-old man?
Well, because they're getting younger.
Well, the quote first lady of North Carolina football will be younger. That's even creepier. I don't know what's creepier. I think that's pretty creepy.
I think it's creepy that you know how old his wife is.
Well, it's not his wife. It's his girlfriend. Well, it's all over the place.
Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
It's all over the place. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah. It's all over the place. I mean,
all over the place.
You can't...
Jeff, did you know? What is she? Is she a model or an actress?
She's pretty, yeah. I don't think she's a model. I mean, I have no idea.
Do you approve of her, unlike Travis Kelce's choices?
I don't know. I just think it's creepy that, I don't even think creepy is
creepy's a good word. Creepy is the word I would use to describe their relationship.
How old is she?
Literally, she's like 24 years old.
24, yeah, that's what I would guess.
Yeah, her name
is like 50 years younger?
Yeah,
yeah,
they could be very happy together. I want to make this very clear. I don't know her. I don't know him. Mm-hmm. I don't know them together.
I had no idea.
They could be extremely happy together and being everything that each other needed in their life.
I feel like I could go out there and stop 1,000 cars right now at 6th and Q, and most people would know that Bill Belichick's dating a young girl.
All of that being said,
I had no idea.
I don't want to look into her at all because of how creepy it is.
She is a former Bridgewater State University cheerleader, apparently. So,
yeah, that seems. I mean, if she's
reasonable, yeah.
44, maybe it seems okay.
Even 44.
Yeah, that's 44. You're up there.
He also wants
24?
Yeah, 24.
What is a 72-year-old and a 24-year-old?
I don't know.
What do they have in common?
I don't want to know.
Yeah. The other thing is that he wants his son Steve to be the head coach in waiting. I mean, we've seen how that works out here.
Gosh, run away, North Carolina.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I mean, and you think that he and Jerry would work fine together. Yeah, Jerry, here's this 400-page thing with all of my demands.
First of all.
And on page 1, it says, GM stays out of head coach's business. Oh, you know what? It's good to see you, Bill. Be on your way.
If somebody handed me a 400-page Bible, I would just say, man, I am just not interested. I don't care what it is. 400 pages? That's like forcing me to read the Brothers Karamazov in high school, and it was 600 pages, and I think I got through most of it, but I didn't get to the end. I had to go to the Cliff Notes. So I still don't know what happened at the end, nor do I really care. I just know this: using Cliff Notes was not the best way to do your book reports, because you got exposed. And I learned a hard and valuable lesson on that. I also learned don't watch a movie and then write a book report on it. I learned that lesson too. Okay, so that's just word of the wise.
I think it's very similar to reading a box score and pretending you watched the game.
I have never pretended to watch a game. I might have looked at a box score and tried to analyze it, but I've never tried to pretend to watch a game.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay, we're going to talk a little college football playoff here.
Mm-hmm.
Not about leakage.
Okay.
Not about firing squads.
Okay.
Okay.
It's different from a couple hours ago.
Yes,
okay.
We're changing things up. Yeah, we're very versatile here.
Okay.
On the morning drive. I just want you to tell me, I got 2 questions for you. Mm-hmm. Which of the first round matchups is the most intriguing to you? And maybe it's the same answer. Which one do you think has the best chance to be an upset?
Ooh. Okay. I really like this SMU Penn State matchup. I think that's going to be somewhat delicious, because you've got this, kind of this stalwart power of Penn State that's trying to kind of move forward, and they're going to be playing there at State College, and SMU is a team that bought its way into the ACC and basically bought its team, and they've put it all together, and they've got a great team.
I heard the other night that there are 9 transfers from Miami on SMU.
Is that right?
9.
9. They just went down to Miami and said,
college.
I'll take you, and I'll take you, and I'll take you, and I'll take you, and take you. Who else do you want to take? I think the game that's ripe for the upset is the game that features the 2 that are the furthest apart in the seeding, and that's the 12 seed Clemson over the 5 seed Texas.
Really?
I'm not saying I'm going to pick that game. I just have this feeling, because, and look, I have not watched Texas through and through. I just got this feeling they're playing the wrong quarterback, and the guy that they should be playing is the backup. And I know that sounds like every other fan in every other city is like, well, the number 2 guy, he's the best. But I don't know. I just didn't get a sense of that they were using their offense at full throttle against Georgia. So those are my 2 picks. Jeff?
So my interest is drastically motivated by the teams involved. I am not interested in Texas playing in the college football championship, so that game's out. I'm not interested in SMU playing in the college football championship, so that game is out. And I'm not interested in Notre Dame playing in that game in the college national championship, so that game is out. So by default, I am left with Tennessee and Ohio State being the most interested. Now, the biggest chance for an upset, I agree with Chuck, but for a different reason. Of the coaches who are coaching in the college football playoff, how many of them have a national title?
That's Dabo Swinney's. It would be it.
That's it. That's a whole list. He's the only one that knows how to get his team ready in this type of situation to win a title.
Although Steve Sarkisian was around at Alabama when they did it, too.
Right, but it's different with the head guy, and everyone will tell you that. Mm-hmm. I would not be shocked at all if Clemson rolls over Texas. And Texas could play a good game. Like, this is not a knock on Texas. I think Texas is a very good team. And I want to vomit in my mouth when I say that. But when things are like this close, mm-hmm. and I know it's 5-12, so it shouldn't be that close, but it's close. I go with a better coach. And in this case, it's Dabo.
Okay, very interesting. For me, the game that I am the most interested in is SMU and Penn State, just because I feel like it's just two incredibly contrasting styles.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I think Ohio State is going to beat Tennessee. They're favored by 7.5, but I think that's the one that I feel like has the best chance for the upset. To me, the one I'm sort of not interested in it because I hate that Indiana is here.
Yeah.
Is that the Indiana Notre Dame game? But I don't know what to expect out of that. Maybe Indiana's just going to shut me up and prove me wrong. But it just feels like that one is the least interesting to me. Okay, I think the other three are way more interesting. So I think the chance for the upset is Tennessee, Ohio State, even though I think it's the greatest chance. I don't think there's going to be any upsets. But I think Penn State and SMU is the one that I'm most interested in, most intrigued by, just because of their contrasting styles. And, Penn State's so physical in every part of the game. But
defense and blah, blah, blah.
But SMU is, they can really go on offense. When they're clicking, they look really good on offense. So, I don't know. Who knows? But that one's the most intriguing to me. It's kind of sad that we're getting this college football playoff, right? And we expect these great games, mm-hmm. and you see the lines. Two of the games are by 7.5, 1-9 and 1-11. So there's not expected to be any great games, right? Mm-hmm. At all. That kind of stinks out loud, but I don't know. It just is what it is. All right. So next question.
Okay.
Arizona State or Boise State? Which team has the better chance to get to the semis?
Boise.
Because of the running back?
Nope. Who they'll be facing?
Oh, the winner of SMU Penn State?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you have a really good point there. I think you have a really good. But you know what? If I'll say this,
my answer is Arizona State. I feel like I know more about Arizona State than I do about Boise State, and mm-hmm. I think Arizona State's good. They're balanced. They're good on both sides of the ball. I'm not completely sold on Clemson or Texas, so yeah.
I agree with Jamie.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona State.
And then I might change it, like if a couple weeks from now when you ask us this question, if it's SMU playing Boise State, then I'd probably pick SMU. Because I think SMU is more explosive. The other thing is if you seeded these teams like the way that they're supposed to be seeded, how would the matchups change? Like if they truly seeded them by 1 through 12. You'd have some different matchups.
You would.
Arizona State would be playing the weekend of the 21st. And Oregon would still be idle. Same with Boise.
Same with Boise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like Texas would have gotten a bye, and maybe
Penn State probably.
Penn State would have gotten a bye. Yeah, you're exactly right. And I wish they'd do that. I hope they'd make that tweak, which would be similar to what college basketball does. Your conference champion or your tournament champion gets an automatic bid, but doesn't give you a bye, so to speak, or make you a 1 or a 2 seed.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
high noon today, the bottom line. And then don't forget Tech Talk this afternoon from 3 to 6. We come to you this morning from the First United Bank studio. Look forward to hearing from you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. All right, I'll give you one more little tidbit tonight for Texas Tech and the Ponies of SMU. So both teams have a pair of players that are pretty important from beyond the arc. For the Lady Raiders, Jazz Shavers and Adley Blacklock combined to make 37 of your 67 made threes. So they're responsible for 55% of your made threes. Bailey Maupin has just been struggling from beyond the arc, Jamie. She is 8 of 36. Just cannot find her shot. However, Jazz and Bailey Maupin combined for 97 of your 252 made field goals. So that's 38%. And they're your two leading scorers. They average 15.6 and 11 points a game, respectively. You'd like to shoot a little bit better, although you're shooting a little bit better, but you're still at about 30% from beyond the arc, averaging about just under 7 threes a ball game. Your opponents, though, averaging just under 5 a game. Now, can you keep that up as the competition gets stiffer? That's the question, right?
Sure, be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And if you could stop turning the ball over, that would be helpful. Although you are forcing more turnovers than you're committing, but. And the other thing is getting off to a fast start. This will be one of the first games of the season where your opponent is actually being outscored in the first quarter. We've seen a number of times this year where the opponent is dominating the first quarter and then you've struggled in the first quarter. Tech is only outscoring their opponents by 19 points in the first quarter. So one thing for SMU, Nia Robertson is one of their big three-point shooters, and Kylie Marshall. They combined for 36 of their 58 made threes. So that combination versus the Blacklock Shavers combination could be something to watch for tonight. Which team shoots the ball better from three? Okay. And then Robertson and one other player, Zanaya Jones, they combined for 40% of their made field goals. So you got a couple of combinations on both sides that are responsible for a lot of the offense. So whose defense is going to play better? I think, for Tech, more than anything else, it's kind of like football. Winning on the road has been challenging at times. Okay. But when you look at it, kind of feel like, okay, this is a game you're supposed to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Game you're supposed to win. Mm-hmm. So they have this one, and then they'll play Sunday in Fayetteville against Arkansas, and then have your Education Day game on Tuesday. So it's coming fast and furious before you get to Big 12 play, which will start on December the 22nd. It's crazy that it's going to start before Christmas this year, but the purpose for this is they want the women's tournament in the Big 12 to be played at the T-Mobile Center the week before the men play, so that they can play in that venue. And you know what? It was a better venue, and I think the attendance was better as a result of that than playing in a municipal auditorium, even though those two arenas are separated by a handful of blocks. Okay? Mm-hmm. Just was, I guess, the spotlight was better and maybe the timing was better. But for the ladies, they'll start Big 12 play at home on Sunday, December the 22nd. That'll be a 2 o'clock tip against Houston. So you have these two games on the road, and then you have the Education Day game on Tuesday against Lamar at 11:30, and then it's Big 12 play. Boom. Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, there won't be any, on the scouting report, fighting Santa Claus on December the 22nd. No, you're playing a Big 12 opponent. There's no. I mean, I know Santa Claus is coming, but this can't be one of those deals where you're worried about getting home for Christmas, because you're going to have plenty of time off between the 22nd and New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. So you got to be focused and ready to go. And the same thing goes for the men, who are in a bit of a lull right now because of finals, et cetera, et cetera. They won't play until Monday when they'll take on Oral Roberts. Okay, and hope to get an update on JT Topping here in the next few days. That he is good to go and ready to see some action. Maybe not, the full 40 minutes, but nobody's playing the full 40 minutes. But just get in there and get some rest off, right?
Well, he's definitely a difference maker for you.
No doubt. And
with your struggles on the defensive boards, you could really use him back.
Yeah. So for Tech, they have Oral Roberts on Monday on the men's side, and then Lamar a week from Saturday, 21st, and then it's Big 12 play on New Year's Eve, and that'll be a 1:00 tip. I think a lot of people will look at that game and go, "Yeah, I think there ain't nothing going on at the office. I'm gonna go over there and watch the ball game." I hope so, because we need. I know all the tickets are sold, but all the tickets aren't being used. I've yet to go to a game where I've struggled for a parking spot or seen.
But that'll change. When
yes, it will. It will.
Opponents with a pulse.
Right. No, it will. It will.
That should be like a team that travels around and plays all these Division I teams in the non-conference play.
Yeah.
Opponents with a pulse. The front of their jerseys, you would say OPP.
Opponents with a pulse. Your OPP. Yeah. OPP.
You play for OPP?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. Opponents with a pulse. Okay.
Chuck didn't get my joke. Yeah.
I'm not good.
My jokes are bad, Chuck. It's okay. You don't blame you. I blame me.
No, it's
your jokes are not bad. I just need a second to get it loaded.
It's on me. It's on me. When you say things like, "Oh, my jokes are bad." Okay, you know what my wife says? She just says, "I was trying to be funny."
Yeah.
But clearly you weren't paying attention.
Maybe it was a bit of a stretch.
There's some honesty in both of your reactions to me and my inability to get your jokes. I struggle. I gotta stop saying. I guess I'm saying, toppin'.
Yeah.
Toppin'. I'm not trying to. Maybe it's now just become in my brain. I don't realize that I'm doing it because.
Now you're thinking about pizza or ice cream.
Yeah, topping. Yeah. Topping.
Yeah.
I'd like some pepperoni and Italian sausage for my toppings. Yeah. And I'd like JT Toppin to be available on Monday night.
Yes.
When they take on Oral Roberts.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.